Joining.
Transferring
there he is.
to your
Oh,
Hey, full stop, Helm. Full stop.
Stop.
We're not
Stop the shit.
Fucking Helm.
Jesus Christ. I don't know how
Using power engines.
Are you tactical, Ryman?
No, I'm in.
Or is Lieutenant Hoyle? Lieutenant Hoyle's tactical. This bitch. This fucking bitch.
What the?
Safety inspections are complete.
We need you to locate the vessel and render any aid they may need.
Why are
We're
you
sending
jerking
their
off?
last coordinates to you now. Starfleet out.
I don't know.
We're supposed to scan the Ragusa? Why are you just doing a dance over there?
Nope.
Yeah, fuck
No
him.
hackable targets.
Fuck him.
fuck that guy.
All right, shields down. Let's beam some more people out.
Oh my god. I want to transfer. This captain is fucking nuts.
No, you want to be on this ship. This captain is great. How dare all of you?
Hey, I think you're great. You're a great guy. I like you.
Thanks.
Lieutenant.
You're getting a promotion. I promote you.
Consistent with recent cloaking activity.
Yes.
Unusual sensor echoes.
The amount of pointing is absurd.
Treaty.
By the way,
Let's
don't
see,
cross the fucking neutral zone.
Yeah. Let's see if we can do this without crossing the neutral zone.
Shield images.
So, when you get close enough, let's see how
Shields on the
far.
line.
What the fuck? Oh, that was a mine.
I'm protecting us, you bastard!
Yeah, I need my own fire headset. This is bullshit.
Can't pantomime jerk off.
No. Can't watch. I can watch data pan.
Oh, how did you make a? How did you make a fist?
You
Well,
can-
oh yeah.
Welcome to the Good Games Podcast. My name is James.
I'm Leo.
I'm Justin.
Hey, we're here. We did it.
Hey.
We're finally here.
Man,
Uh,
I haven't seen your faces in like over a month.
I know
Yeah.
there's a lot of this is a much delayed episode to anyone who's listening to it at time of recording. Our schedules have not lined up, but we are finally here recording this episode.
But like the hype level now for this episode is through the roof.
Because it's been
I've been
in the works
preparing
for so long.
By playing and watching a lot of Star Trek.
Yeah.
Good. Yes. On this episode, we are boldly going where no one has gone before, which is Star Trek Bridge Crew, and a lot of people have been there before. But we're boldly going where we have not been before, which was playing Star Trek Bridge Crew.
Have a lot of people been before? Like, I mean, how popular is this game?
I would guess probably. I would like to see the sales figures. I don't know. I'll try to find some sales numbers while we talk about this. I would guess not that popular, right? Because it's like it's like the audience of Star Trek fans, and then like the audience of people that have VR. And I don't know what that Venn diagram looks like. Let me see if I can
Of
find.
course,
some
it's one of
sales.
those games that, like, even though it's a quote unquote, VR game, it's kind of like one of my favorite games on Steam is Hand Simulator, and that's a VR game, but like it is so fun to play with or without VR.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's like, maybe people don't immediately think of it because they think it's a VR game. I don't know, but I think this game should be a lot more popular than it is because it was a lot of fun.
It was
a lot of fun. And I mean, there's like a board game version of this, right? And there's like that phone app version of this. This is like a concept, like the whole Bridge Crew.
Oh,
everyone has a role concept.
Oh,
is like,
you're talking about Space Team. You're talking about Space Team.
I mean, but
Yeah,
I'm saying like the game mechanics exist and are popular, so you would think the video game version would do well.
Yeah.
I think I had like some mixed reviews on Steam and stuff. I was surprised.
Yeah. I mean, I can understand why, but yeah, you can definitely tell it's definitely criticized a lot. It's got like on some platform. I noticed on Oculus, it's got like 3.5 stars.
Yeah,
but I can understand. I mean, the
so
game's
what's your,
a little
like bugginess maybe a little bit.
Yeah, I guess it's a little janky. The mouth people
Yeah.
are probably criticizing the mouth movements and the the weird well me and James, so me and after we have been playing the game, and after you left, Leo, me and James played, I think it was 2 more missions, and we let the helmsman and engineering work off of the AI. And boy, oh boy, did the helmsman!
That's tough.
The helmsman just loved.
He's a drunken
crashing into
Our
shit.
helmsman just kept taking us right into fucking asteroids and like other ships. And
Yeah.
The AI needs a little work.
I mean, I think it's just like you can't have an AI helmsman. I think that's all it is. It's like you have to have a player behind the wheel.
Yeah, this game is definitely at its best when you're playing with 3 other people, so 4 people in total, and preferably you're playing with like 4 people who are all your friends, and hopefully you're all like Star Trek fans. Because I
didn't get a chance to play with like total random people. That
I didn't
would
try that
kind of
either.
be into just. I just want to see like what that's like. I imagine there's like this whole sub universe we don't even know about, like of just like people role playing on Star Trek Bridge Crew, and like remember that one chick we met at like in like Star Wars Galaxies that was trying to get us to take a bath in her hot tub or whatever.
10K easy money, and we never got that 10K easy money.
I imagine there's people like that playing Star Trek Bridge Crew, just like, you know, strangers online all the time.
I think my biggest gripe with this game is I don't know that it's even a gripe. It's something interesting. I think the mission statement with this game was, how do we take Star Trek and like make an experience that makes you feel like you're in Star Trek, as opposed to how do we take Star Trek and make it fun? You know what I mean? Like it's a
simulator. It's not really a fun.
Exactly. It is primarily a Star Trek simulator. And then secondarily, it's a game. Like the primary focus of this game is to make you feel like Star Trek, not make Star Trek feel fun, if that makes sense.
Right.
And I think it succeeds. Like
which I'm in for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And to the point of it being a Star Trek simulator, there's a lot of times where, okay, so a quick overview if you've never heard of this game. It's basically a Star Trek simulator, as we've been saying. There's 4 different positions. There's a captain, a helm, tactical, and like engineering. I can't remember if those are the exact names, and I think the names actually switch depending on what ship you're playing. But anyway, those are the 4 basic positions. And the helm obviously is responsible for steering the ship. Tactical mainly shoots things, right? And engineering is balancing power, mostly between like weapons, engines, and shields, and the captain gives all the orders. But I think one of the problems of this being primarily a Star Trek simulator and then secondarily a game is there's a lot of times where some of the positions have absolutely nothing to do. So like if you're because like we've done some like science missions where it's like, okay, you need to, you know, warp to this sector and go scan some stuff. Okay, cool. When you're, you know, moving there, the helm has stuff to do. The captain's giving orders, but like tactical and engineering are just like, okay, we'll just twiddle our thumbs for a while. Like,
yeah, I experienced that. They could probably fix that by adding like just a few more role specific actions, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it'd be cool if engineering was the only people who could transport people, or, you know, if tactical I think they're the only ones who can scan, but, you know, I don't know. I just feel like there's probably a few more things they could add. It doesn't have to fit Star Trek exactly. Like, I don't know, just come up with a couple silly little things that only that person can do and keep them busy, you know?
Well, yeah, you referenced Space Team at the top of this discussion, and I think that's where Space Team is really successful, is that Space Team really relies on communication between everyone, because everyone both has key pieces of information that they need to communicate, but also they need to be listening for other people's communication so that they can issue those orders. Whereas in this, like, the only person who's giving orders is the captain, and those orders are only specific to one of 3 other people. And if the order's not for you, you don't do anything.
Yep. I guess the other thing they can maybe do there is, I think I don't remember how Space Team worked or not, but I feel like there was a little bit more involved in like figuring out how to do your job. So they could
Yeah.
add like sort of like mini game or like a puzzle system.
Yeah.
Like you always see in the show where they're always just sitting there kind of messing with the
doing
panel
all the
while they're-
things, right?
Yeah, so it's like
Yeah.
tactical can be dealing with security things and
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. But this game,
what-
Bridge Crew is so not interested in that. It is
Yeah,
let's simulate Star Trek, and then if it's a game that happens to be fun, whatever.
Okay,
but that's not
but
what
hey,
we're going for.
This is right out of Star Trek, the movie, but still, like when you're transpondering people, you got to lock on, you got to like sync everything up. So if they're moving, like that whole thing, we could do that. Boom,
Yeah.
instantly more fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I would also like to see like something happen to the people. So I think it'd be cool when your ship's getting attacked.
You want to see
is
people die?
Well, not people die, but I mean like
Fly
say
across.
there's like a knockout factor or something like that where you just get knocked out for like 30 seconds and someone has to take over your some of your position just to keep the ship alive. I think that'd be pretty cool.
There's a lot of potential with this game. That's what I was
There's so much of that in the show where
yeah.
like the ship gets attacked and something blows up in front of someone.
Right.
They go
And they fall over,
fly
right.
over. Yeah.
Right.
I gotta
And
have some of that in there.
Worf is like, move over, and it just takes over or whatever.
Yeah. Got to.
The other thing I wanted, because I played, I primarily played Captain a lot, and I was hoping, because like one of the key things in Star Trek is like a lot of the times the captain has to make like tough decisions, like what's the right thing to do? Do we do this or do we do that? Like the captain effectively is just reading off a checklist of things to do. You don't really make any. There's not like
quest announcer.
Yeah. Basically,
there's quests, and the captain says, "Here's our quest."
And that's basically it. Like there were very few times
This is
where the
communicator
captain,
more than anything.
Yeah, where the captain actually had to be like, It was just like, okay, do this now, do this.
I think that's probably why my favorite interaction that we had in the game was that like campaign mode with the Kobayashi mission, because like that was the first time that like really gave you a choice between like defending the Kobayashi against the Klingon ships, or like and putting your shields up and fighting, or lowering the shields and transporting people out. Like that was, I think, when it was the most fun, because it was like a challenge and you had to make that decision.
Yeah, there was actually decisions to make there. Yeah,
if you could recreate that, maybe there's more campaign missions that do that, but it's probably not a majority of the game.
I would love to see them expand on this game.
Yeah, I would.
I would like to see. I don't know, maybe being on a Klingon warbird, or maybe even doing stuff from a space station.
The thing I want is because Justin, you and I were playing on the Quest. I want the ability to like get up and walk around the ship. Like,
there you go.
Let me free roam this bitch.
Hey, and you know what? Some people out there already made that possible.
Oh, really? That's
all
a
you gotta
mod?
do is,
oh, shit.
No, not on this game, but I'm saying walking around like the Enterprise.
Yeah.
But it got, they got trashed by.
Yeah, of course. Of course. Yeah, no, I just want to be able to walk around the Enterprise.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Well, yeah, I mean like a full Star Trek simulator where it's like you get access to the entire ship and do whatever the fuck.
That'd be badass.
And so we're pretty much talking about an open world Star Trek game.
Sure. I mean,
if you consider the ship being the open world.
That's and that's the key though. It's like there is like, an MMO Star Trek game, but it's like most of it is you're just looking at a spaceship, and it's, it plays more like a rail, space fighter game than anything else. It's like I want a game, and I've always liked the idea of a game where you're in the ship, there's travel from the bridge to engineering, there's your world is inside that ship, and then like you have to work with other people to pilot it and stuff like that. Still, I don't know why that's not a thing yet. Why is that not the closest I've ever gotten? Is Star Wars Galaxies after the major updates, and they give you space travel,
jump to light speed.
Yeah, they give you like guns. I mean, this is some of the most fun I've ever had in my history of video gaming. Was like I had a pilot, and like I was the guy running around, like getting on the turrets and stuff, and someone else was like helping navigate on the co-pilot chair. Like, I mean, that's badass. Probably the next closest is Sea of Thieves, but that's like a boat. Like I don't,
Mhm,
you know,
mhm.
I want like a space
In a
boat.
spaceship. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't there like a Star Trek Online?
yeah.
game?
But that's what I'm saying. But it's like, you know, you'll see your character when you're like walking on, like, you know, when you've landed
A
somewhere.
planet.
Yeah, but then
And
like
then the
once
ship
you're in
is
your
just
ship,
up.
it just
You're
zooms
just flying
out,
around.
and you're just it's just like a, you know, little space fighter on rail. It's basically Star Fox. You know, that's all it is.
Yeah. Star Fox Adventures.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't know how much we can say about this game. It's good.
Yeah.
It's
There
it's
could
fun
be
to
more
it's
to
fun
it.
to dick around.
Yeah,
And
I would.
mean,
yeah.
Role play.
I would.
it's a
Yeah.
nice VR game. It's definitely a fun game to play in VR.
Yeah.
I would recommend this to fans of Star Trek who want to feel like they're immersed in Star Trek and like role play that experience.
Yeah, if
But
you want to play
as-
the Kobayashi mission,
Right.
go play this game.
I don't know how successful this game is for anyone who's not really into Star Trek and just wants a game. You know what I mean?
Dude, yeah. If
Yeah.
you had got me to play this game before I got into Star Trek, which is pretty late in my life,
Right.
like I would have laughed in your face. Like,
Right,
this is,
yeah.
what the hell is this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think this one might be for Star Trek fans only.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
Yeah.
But you know, a lot of potential.
Yeah, there is potential. If you
It's a good
want to explore strange new worlds and seek out new life and new civilizations and boldly go where no one has gone before, you can support this podcast on Patreon. And you can also just give us a thumbs up or a 5 stars or a like or send us an
Or
email.
dislike.
Or dislike. Hey, whatever. You think we suck? Tell us.
Tell us.
You can write us an angry email. Send us your angry emails at goodgamescast@gmail.com. Yeah, we also are on Instagram. Is that a lie? Do we have an Instagram?
We're on Instagram and Twitter.
Oh, shit. We're on Instagram and Twitter. Follow us on those platforms. Do it.
Shout out to Matt.
Yeah, if it was not obvious, the three of us do not run those social media accounts, but we pay attention to them.
No.
Probably.
We sure do.
Yeah, we sure do.
Comment and see if you can tell.
Comment.
Right. Write us a message on Twitter or Instagram and see if we tweet back at you. Okay. Let's see. Our top 5 today is our top 5 favorite Star Trek episodes. Who's going first?
I'm so excited about this. So can we make? I vote that we make this a collaborative list.
Oh, Jesus!
The reason
All right.
why is because I feel like there should be a definitive best episodes of Star Trek.
Oh my God! Okay,
No?
that's gonna be
Okay.
All
That's
right.
a lot.
Okay. Well,
That's a lot.
maybe the problem is that like most of my Star Trek knowledge is in one of the Star Treks. So
That's
I
fine.
don't
Yeah,
know. I brought 5. I brought 5 to the table, but you know.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, so I'm assuming your 5, Leo, is going to be next gen centric.
They're all next gen. I have an
yeah.
honorable mention to the Tribbles episode of the original series.
Nice, classic.
That's the only one
classic.
I really remember.
Right. Yeah, it's the only
besides-
one most people ever remember. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got one of each and 2 of the only.
Oh, okay.
Well, I got one of each and then 2 of next gen because come on, next gen.
Yeah.
My number 5 is Cause and Effect. It's a next gen episode. In this episode, it's kind of a sci-fi concept. It's like a sci-fi mystery episode. In this episode, the Enterprise keeps getting destroyed over and over and over again. You know, it's one of those time loop episodes, and the crew basically just has to figure out how to break the time loop. As like a sci-fi mystery, it's a good sci-fi mystery. I don't know that the solution makes any sense at all, but
No,
but
I
it's a
don't
good
remember the
sci-fi
solution. Yeah.
Like Data, okay, spoilers for cause and effect. Data like looks at somebody's pips on their command pips. He's like, "Oh, well, I saw that because you had 3 pips.
Oh, right.
I should listen to you instead of you." And that's it. We did it. And then and then Frasier comes out of the past and he's like, "Oh, I'm in Star Trek now." And then that's it
For like a minute.
It's a weird ending. But I do love the premise of that episode. It's a good sci-fi premise. Cause and effect.
Wow, yeah, that one almost made my top 5, but I tried to limit the number of temporal anomaly episodes I had, which are probably my favorite.
I have so many temporal anomalies in my top 5.
Those are usually the best ones.
They are. I still
it's never
have
the ones where it's like they're socializing with some people on the planet who are half naked and they're trying to bang them.
I do like those though. I do like those.
Just like a third of the episode.
Right. Yeah.
My number 5 was Chain of Command.
Good.
Which is one I didn't really even get a chance to watch that one until recently when I was kind of binge watching the last couple of seasons I had of the Next Gen. I started, those of you who don't know, with season 1, episode 1, like 8 years ago. At the recommend, Jason almost forced me to watch it, and I hadn't watched it before, and so then I started from season 1, and now finally like finished like all of it, years later. So so Chain of Command was late. It's like season 6 or 7. And it's a 2-parter with basically Picard going insane, and he's a really phenomenal actor. Of course, I already knew that, but of like range of emotions this guy can show, it's just great. And I feel like that one episode does a good job. He, over like plot wise, it's like he goes on like a mission and gives command over to another captain who's a dick, and then he ends up getting caught and is tortured, and there's 4 lights and there's memes about it, and it's great.
There are 4 lights. My favorite my favorite about that episode is the guest captain. He's like an asshole, but he's an asshole, but he's got a lot of points. He's like, hey Troy, can you wear like fucking Starfleet standard uniforms so your titties don't have to be out all the time, please? Can we do that?
He's a dick. He's a dick, but like for a good reason, and so it makes you kind of question, like, man, like,
why are Troy's tits out all the time?
So, but like. What's funny is watching Star Trek now as a manager and a person who's in a leadership role at work. It's actually, man, it's like it hits different, and I think that's why this episode. I don't think this episode would have made my top 5 before, but now it really does, because like I totally understand coming into like onto like a new team and trying to like set an impression and like get a feel, like try to give commands while also people are still going to feel for you and stuff, and be like I understand like the other side of things, like when you have a new or a boss or someone in leadership position above you and dealing with that, and but in general, like all of Star Trek hits different. Like the captain leadership role feels very similar to leading my team of engineers.
Okay.
Anyway,
and that's a good one. My number 5 was, and hear me out, was Remember Me.
I like Remember Me.
Yeah. So this is an episode where Wesley is fucking around with the
warp drive or some shit.
Yeah. Based on certain theories that he's practicing with, and ends up pretty much flinging his mother into like a replicated like micro universe where she doesn't realize that, because it's almost like a copy of the current universe. And what's happening is it's inside this like warp bubble, and it starts shrinking. And I love the idea, because as this warp bubble's shrinking, people are disappearing. And as they disappear, the reality of that universe keeps changing. So she goes like, oh, well, there was a doctor that came on board. And they're looking around and they're like, there was never a doctor who came on board. He was never on the itinerary. And she's like, but I swear to God, I just saw him. And then like it keeps happening. More and more people are disappearing. And Crusher thinks she's going crazy, because people are like, Lieutenant Worf, who the fuck are you talking about? Like, And slowly this starts happening more and more until it gets down to just her and Picard. And he's like, it's always been the two of us on this ship. And she's like, are you crazy? So I just love the idea. Screw the whole like, oh, it was because she was thinking of something at that time. Fuck that plot point.
Yeah.
But I just
Yeah,
like the
yeah.
idea of like a shrinking universe that's causing that reality to slowly change as people and things begin disappearing. She like does the computer, and the computer tells her, oh yeah, there's only there's the end of the universe like 75 meters in front of you. Like, what the hell? I just love the concept of that episode.
Yeah. It's almost the same thing as cause and effect. Like, it's a really good sci-fi premise. If you think about it too long, it doesn't make any fucking sense. But like, don't think about it and like let the sci-fi mystery just be, and it's good.
Yeah, dismiss Wesley and the Traveler shit. Stick with the whole shrinking universe.
The ending is also stupid, so throw out the ending again. But like, the premise is good. Yeah, I really like that premise. I like that episode. That's a good one. My number 4 is a mashup of a bunch of different types of Star Trek like proto episodes, because you've got there's only a certain amount of Star Trek proto episodes, right? You got your sci-fi mystery, you got your like ethical or morality play, right, where somebody, usually the captain has to make a tough decision, and then you've got like I don't know, you've got your I don't know, Klingon episode. I guess that's another. Anyway, this is a mashup of a bunch of it's a Voyager episode, and it's called Latent Image. And in this, we start with a sci-fi mystery, whereas the doctor finds evidence that he's performed surgery, but neither him nor the patient remember doing the surgery. And then we go through and we realize that, somebody's gone in to the doctor's like memories and deleted his memories. So then it's like, who did the memories? And then you realize that it was Captain Janeway. And then the episode shifts over to this ethical dilemma morality play. Does she have the right to delete the doctor's memories? And like, was that the correct choice? Because she was doing it for the doctor's own good, but did she have the right to do this without the doctor's consent? So yeah, good mashup of a bunch of different like Star Trek proto episodes. Latent Image from Star Trek Voyager.
Yeah, because I think the plot point was like the doctor went into like a feedback loop because he had the like controversial feelings of what he had done, and he did something against his programming, which was like illogical or something like that. So then, like, he had to make a decision on letting someone die or something like that.
Yeah, and he saving
someone else.
Yeah, he saves his friend over saving somebody else, but like that's not in his programming. So he can't reconcile going against his programming or doing something that wasn't in his programming.
Yeah, and then like he ended up having to like fix Paris, versus some girl that everyone was getting acquainted with, and then he starts like realizing that this girl existed, and that's when he starts kind of having the
so then Janeway, instead of solving the problems, just like, all right, we'll just delete those memories then, problem solved.
That's Janeway for you.
My number 4, I feel like I kind of have to honor this episode a little bit because of what I think it's trying to do, but it's the episode is the measure of a man.
Hell yeah, that's another good pick. TNG. Great pick.
I think it's touted as one of the best Star Trek TNG episodes because of like, it's like one of those ones that's like really more deep. It was like early on in the series too, though. It stuck out to me because it's about basically whether or not the measure of a man is questioning whether or not Data is a human being or should be treated as a sentient being or not, right? Like this asshole scientist like wants to dismantle him to do research on him for Starfleet, and like Picard basically having to like go to fight for his his guy, be like, no, this is we gotta protect him. He's alive. And I remember thinking as I watched it that it kind of reminds me of, and it's probably on purpose, kind of the whole social justice around, whether or not people, slaves when they were freed, were full, humans to have equal rights and stuff like that. So
Well, they explicitly say that in the episode. I think Riker has a line where he's like, we're not talking about whether or not like Data is sentient. We're talking about whether or not he's a slave. Like,
right.
Yeah.
So
there's a next twist that he throws at him.
Yeah. So it was interesting. It's like they brought that real, like, sort of raw feeling that everyone, especially in America, is familiar with to the sci-fi world. So yeah, really, really cool episode.
good pick.
My number 4, which I just had a thought and I actually kind of changed it, is Deep Space Nine's Rules of Engagement. So Rules of Engagement is when so the Federation and the Klingons are both fighting again because of shit going on. The treaty's been dismissed. So Worf, fighting along with the Klingons, ends up firing at using the what's that ship? What's
the Defiant?
The ship called? The Defiant. Yeah, he's captaining the Defiant, and then he's fighting Klingons. He fires at a ship that seemed like it was decloaking.
Oh yeah.
And he ended up destroying a transport ship. So then he pretty much goes under trial under Klingon law, because he's apparently killed like over 600 people or something crazy like that. And later on, they find out that it was a bunch of bullshit, and it was like an image projected, and they figure it all out, and he's cleared of his name. But it's a nice, like, kind of trial and episode, kind of again, like, kind of falling into like the ethics of making certain kinds of decisions, and if you act too quickly, what disasters can potentially happen, even though it was kind of faked in the end.
Those ethical episodes are good, man.
Yeah. But one thing I love about that episode is like the end of it. It gave me a new respect for Captain Sisko. Was he goes into the room with Worf, and he's like, "Hey, what you doing, man? Like, everyone's like celebrating. We got through. You got through this, and everything. Everything's all right. Like, why don't you come join us?" And Worf's like, "Nah, I'm good. I'm just gonna." Because Worf apparently lives on the Defiant. He doesn't want to be on the space station because I guess it annoys the shit out of him. So he's just like, I'm good. I'm just, I just want to be to myself for now after all that. And then he like goes, well, Captain, I just wanted to say I'm sorry for what happened. And Sisko turns around after being all happy and smiley with him and goes,
yeah, it was like the biggest
right
swing.
Yeah, he's like, you're damn right. He's like, you make that kind of mistake again, and I'll like kick your ass, pretty much. And Worf's like, oh fuck, like Jesus. He's like, no, anyways, come join us, let's go. And Worf's like, okay, sure.
I have no idea why Sisko had a crazy mood swing at the end of that episode.
But I loved it. It was like perfect because the thing with Sisko is that he's always he's a family man. Like, it's opposite of what Picard is. Picard's always been like, eat it, kids. But Sisko's always been like, he's kind of like the go-to dad. He's like a dad captain.
He's the dad of Star Trek.
Yeah, you baseball, man. You play some baseball, But it ended up just seeing that kind of just quick change in in attitude, and telling someone like, yeah, you did fuck up, and don't do that again, kind of thing. I don't know.
Yeah,
I just like that episode for pretty much for that moment. I love that moment.
That's such a weird moment, but yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Good. My number 3 is also from Star Trek Deep Space Nine. It is another time travel, time anomaly episode. It is Trials and Tribulations. This is a cool one because DS9 is a lot about it's kind of like the edgier version of Next Gen. There's a lot of there's a lot of fighting, and it's a little more edgy out on the this 90s. One they get to just have a lot of fun, which is cool because DS9 doesn't get to have a lot of fun.
All those fun episodes are my favorite in Star Trek world.
Yeah.
The premise of the episode is basically they have to travel back in time to the original series era and save the original Enterprise. But the catch is they can't let anyone on the original Enterprise know that they're, time travelers, because that could disrupt the space-time continuum. So they travel back and they realize that they're in the classic episode, The Trouble with Tribbles. But they do a lot of really, especially for its time and for a show that didn't have a huge budget at the time, they do a lot of really good editing. They splice in a lot of the DS9 actors, right into the old original series footage. It was really cool just to see the characters have fun, and like Dax implies that she boned Bones and also wants to fuck Spock. Like, I don't know why Dax wants to just fuck the entire cast of original series. Anyway, it's good fun episodes, trials and tribulations.
Yeah.
Cool. My number 3 is difficult because I definitely know what my number 2 and number 1 are, and I know it's neither one of these two things, but I couldn't decide which one of these two I wanted to make my number 3 slot. So I was torn between The Royale, which is a fantastic episode in which Data needs a new pair of shoes. And gambles. It is so fucking amazing. It turns everything on its head, and I love the silly episodes like that. So that episode is fantastic. But
all right,
I think what I'm going to go with for
instead,
my real number 3 is The Inner Light.
Okay, yep.
I think my favorite Star Trek episodes are the ones where I guess you could call them more science mission focused, where they're just out there in the edges of space, and then the show writers are like, here's something that could just kind of happen, like if you think about it, right? Like, and so so in this episode they see some object and they scan it and they're like, we don't know what this thing is, and like while he's on the bridge, Picard like faints and then has the whole like Rick and Morty thing where like he has his whole life or whatever and has kids and grandchildren and learns to play the flute, and then I think he dies, I think, and then comes back to on the bridge again, like I lived a whole nother life in like seconds or whatever, and it come to find out that this device was from a planet that had died due to a star that went supernova like thousands of years ago or whatever, and then they left their memories in this device, and it's just like he's the one that got him when I don't know why, but like that's just a cool concept, like the idea that like if your race is advanced enough, even when your planet explodes, like you can leave behind this legacy and someone else can bump into it in space. That's pretty cool. Oh, and I love the fact that it comes up like later, he just like knows how to play the flute now for like in the real world. Like,
I mean, he lived a lifetime within like 5 minutes.
It's crazy. Yep.
Okay, so what are we on? Number 3, I chose the Next Generation's Sarek.
Oh, good one.
So that's when Ambassador Sarek comes on board. It's the original Spock's mom and dad come on board, and he's supposed to be negotiating a treaty, and this is like his end all, like retirement, like last thing I'm doing. This is gonna be the the big bang out, and but it turns out he has
Bandai syndrome or something.
Bandai syndrome, yeah, it's Bandai
something like that.
A rare syndrome that their mind begins kind of deteriorating, and they start to feel random emotions, and they can't control their emotions anymore. They pretty much start to kind of go cuckoo a little bit. It's like it's the Vulcans
the
going
Vulcan way of
yeah. But because of that, his memories are being like diverted from his mind to other people through one of his like assistants, and it's causing everyone on the ship to kind of start losing their minds and get emotional over stuff. They eventually figure this out, and Sarek declines, says there's no way, and then Picard says enough to him to get him so aggravated that he starts freaking out a little bit. It's illogical. But this is the popular episode where Picard decides that in order to bring Sarek peace of mind at that moment where he's supposed to be doing this big negotiation, is he's going to mind meld with him and take all those extra emotions that are building up in Sarek and put them in himself. And this is the fun moment where he's sitting in his office like like crying and I love you.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. So I don't know. I just love that whole like seeing like vulnerable Vulcans and just Picard at his most. You could like the one thing I love about Patrick Stewart is just him. You can feel him trying to force the cry out. Like
I love you.
And then once he finally gets it out, you hear him sigh, and you see the tears come out, and he's like,
"Did it?
Oh, God.
Acting,
yeah, pretty much." It's a great. I'm sorry, it's just like a great acting episode for Patrick Stewart.
Yeah.
And I love that. It was
Those are the best.
It was so fun to watch that one.
Yeah.
It was for both actors. The fun little things they did. It's a good episode. I just like that episode. It's just fun acting in that. Really, just enjoyable to watch.
My number 2, I'm going to the original series. I'm picking The City on the Edge of Forever. This is another time travel anomaly episode. Basically, the premise in this one is Bones accidentally injects himself with crazy juice, for lack of, well, I don't know, the sci-fi crazy juice, and he's like, "Oh shit!" And then they're like, "Oh God, what are we gonna do?" And he transports himself down to this planet that has been giving off these time anomalies, and Bones travels back to the United States in the 1930s, which is already interesting because it's like the 60s being nostalgic for the 30s, which I guess is like the equivalent of now being nostalgic for the 90s. So basically they all go back to the... Yeah, I know, right?
Just old.
I know. So basically the crew, well, actually, no, it's not the crew. It's just Kirk and Spock are like, oh, shit. Well, okay, once Bones time travels back, he causes a space-time anomaly that deletes everything. So the entire, like, universe is all fucked up because Bones time traveled back to the 30s. So Kirk and Spock are like, well, shit, now we have to go back to the 30s and undo whatever Bones does. So they do. And basically... Kirk falls in love with this woman from the 30s, and the key moment of the episode is Kirk realizes he has to let this woman die in order to preserve the timeline, and he's like, "Oh, but I love her." And anyway, it's great. Yeah. I don't know. It's got a little bit of everything.
I think the key moment of the episode is seeing Kirk in like regular human attire, like regular clothing. That's really the key of.
It's got a little bit of everything. It's got like, they get to have some fun time traveling to the 30s. It's got that like high concept sci-fi thing of, whatever. And then, I don't know, it's good. And it's also interesting watching the 60s being nostalgic for the 30s.
Yeah. I loved also too how by this one woman not getting hit by a car, apparently the Nazis win.
Yeah. That's what it was. Yeah,
okay.
I forgot about that.
So
that's exactly what it is.
Butterfly effect.
That's what it was. Is that when she, because either Kirk or Bones or whoever saved her from getting hit by the car.
Right. Nazis win and like
Nazis win the war
because she was stuff.
She was supposed to be a what do you call it when someone dies for a cause?
A martyr.
Thing.
A martyr.
A martyr. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah. I thought it was because Winston Churchill was driving the car. And it's like if he hadn't hit her, then he would have never decided.
With a cigar in his mouth.
Yeah, I do like the idea. What's her name? Edith?
Yeah.
Edith something. Yeah, killing Edith undoes the entire universe and all humanity.
Yeah.
I still don't. Yeah, I like the weird thing about that episode is like, why did Bones inject himself with like adrenaline shit that made
at the beginning of the episode they're like, oh God, warning captain, there's space waves and there's like time distortions and the ship's like rocking back and forth, and then like a console blows up and Sulu gets injured and Bones is like, oh, I'll just inject him with this crazy dangerous drug, but like not too much because that could kill him. And then like Sulu's like, hey, I'm okay now. And then there's like another thing and the ship rocks. And then Bones injects the entire vial into himself. And he's like, I'm crazy now.
That's right. I just
Yeah.
remember like the weird shade of skin they gave him on that episode. He's like,
Yeah, I don't know
blotchy or
why he was
something
like
and,
a pale
white.
yellow. Yeah.
The original series had a real lack of consistency with like makeup and costuming, I feel like.
Yeah.
All right. My number 2. I tried to pick like one like real. I had several temporal anomaly episodes that I guess I kind of have multiple, no matter how you look at it. But this one was Timescape.
Oh, nice. Love that one.
And
Yeah.
it is the one like it is to me. I think it's my favorite like temporal anomaly episode because it's the fucky one. Like it's like everyone's just hanging out. You know, it was Picard, LaForge, Data, and what's her name? The
Troy.
Emotion chick.
Troy.
Troy are like on the shuttle, and they're wanting to go back to. They're on their way back to the Enterprise, and that's the one that's like featured in that song. That's like a remix of all Picard lines. Is like boring sentences, whatever. Like the whole,
incredibly.
yeah. Talking.
Yeah.
And then like everyone freezes, and then for like no reason. And Troy's the only one who can like move, and it's like, what is going on? And it was my favorite because for like at least the first half of the episode, you have no fucking clue what is happening, and like they keep that like suspense or that misdirection, like they keep doing it. So like just when you think you might know what's happening, like no, now this is happening. Oh, there's like little pockets. Oh, this is why. And at the very end, it's like some like beings that travel through time and they have like babies and they're trying to protect them or whatever. It's like weird.
It was like a double twist because it was like, oh no, the Romulans are attacking and like they caused a crazy distortion. So like, oh, but then like, no, the Romulans are trying to save everyone. My favorite moment in that episode is when like Picard gets the like time travel bends. And then he like gets like really high and then draws a smiley face in the cloud.
He draws a smiley face.
Just like laughs maniacally at his own.
Yes. Yeah. Like that episode had everything to me. It had plot twists, it had time craziness, it had, you know, Picard, like, you know, his beautiful acting, going from serious captain to goofy, you know, little kid in one scene. Yeah, it's a great episode.
Yeah, no, it's a good one. I like that. My number 2. So there's a being, a life form, who is exploring himself. He wants to be more human. He tries to interact with things. And the best way to do this is by being Keiko's father of the bride to her wedding in Data's Day. Data's Day is just a classic silly episode.
I do like the silly ones.
It's just pretty much almost half the episode is just him learning to dance. Which the slow dancing scene is fantastic because Crusher is trying to teach him and she tells him you have to smile and he's like the whole time.
Yeah.
He's just wide grin. Just it's so fun and it just I don't know. It's just a nice little exploration into Data's mind and him trying to be in a, you know, a more human than what he is. But that's just like a fun episode to laugh at. The other plot of the episode is like Vulcan ambassador turns out to be a Romulan spy.
Oh, I forgot the B plot to that episode.
Yeah, that was the B plot, but it was kind of
I like a lot of those episodes where it's like Data trying to figure out how to be human and slightly failing or majorly failing.
Yeah. And you get a little bit of more O'Brien. I like episodes that have more O'Brien in them. I love O'Brien. He has such good personality. I love that about him.
O'Brien's good, dude.
Yeah.
My number 1 Star Trek episode. We're going back to Star Trek: The Next Generation. I'm going to pick Darmok. To me, this is quintessential Star Trek. So if you take, you know, the opening mission statement, explore strange new worlds, encounter, seek out new life forms. I can't even remember the fucking opening crawl, but they boldly, anyway. So they encounter this race that basically only speaks in memes.
If that's one way to put it, yeah.
Which I relate to because like the next gen crew is like, what? We don't understand your memes, and I'm like, that's how I'm like, I don't get memes. So yeah, they just keep speaking in memes, and they're like, I don't understand how to communicate with these people. So the other the Temerians, I think, they beam both Captain Picard and the other captain down to this planet, and they're like, oh, what the fuck? Is this an act of hostility?
Mhm.
And like Captain Picard and this other guy are trying to figure out how to communicate. The Enterprise is trying to communicate with the other ship and figure out what theirs, everyone's got something to do. They're all trying to figure out how to communicate with each other. The other guys just keep repeating memes back to them. But it turns out the Temerians knew that there's a dangerous monster on this planet. And the idea is Captain Picard and the other captain are going to team up, and then like they'll learn to cooperate with each other, and then they'll learn to communicate with each other and defeat the monster. And lo and behold, Captain Picard learns the dankest memes from this captain, and just becomes a meme lord, and learns how to speak the memes. But it's good. It's all about learning to communicate, learning new races, and it's good. Basically, the Temerian captain was like willing to give his life in order to learn how to communicate with other races. It's good.
Yeah.
Good episode.
I like those episodes, where it's like basically they're finding like new life forms and stuff, because like they like didn't have they have like universal translators or something, and like these people were outside of that knowledge.
Yeah, they're like, oh, wait, the universal translator's working, but like they only speak in memes. Which, by the way, don't think about the meme thing too much, because that breaks down instantly. Like, how do they communicate like advanced like engineering and science concepts to each other through memes? Like, that doesn't make any fucking sense.
They're just like
they pretty much like they speak in like actual events.
Yeah. They're like cultural. They're like cultural references, like proto mythical references.
Yeah. So it's so Darmok and Jalad at Tanagra was supposed to be two people who bound together to fight a common enemy. That's what Picard finally figures out. And then there was Shaka, when the walls fell, was supposed to be like when I guess a city fell, or when so that it
is a trippy episode.
It's supposed to convey like sadness or something failing or
hopelessness.
I like it because it's a trippy episode, because you as the viewer are so often just given knowledge in this show, and you just kind of like take things as they are, like, oh yeah, cool, like blah 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 blah, whatever. But like in that episode, they really force you to kind of like, you're the whole time you're like, what?
Yeah, that's cool, because you can kind of figure out, you can kind of solve the mystery along with Captain Picard. You're like, memes, yeah.
All right. My number one goes to one that I recently watched, as I finally, like I said, have finished the series, and I literally switched up my top 5 to make All Good Things my number one favorite episode.
Oh, All Good Things is very good. What TV series has a better finale than Star Trek: The Next Generation?
Literally, it was like, I brought almost a tear to my eye. I was like, this is so perfect. It is a part 1, part 2 in one episode. At least it is on Netflix, which is fantastic. So it's like this like full length feature film of Star Trek, and it's got temporal anomalies. It's got returning cast members, and it's got goofy. it's got goofy Picard moments and super serious moments. It's got Q. It's got the Earth. It's got poker at the end. It ends with poker and good feelings, and man, just a fantastic. The premise of the episode is that Picard is existing in like all these 3 different time periods, and thinks he's going insane because he has this disease in the future, and you get to find out what happens to some of the characters in the future. But then, they change things, so maybe not. I don't know. It's cool, man. Really, really great way to end that series. I loved it.
Well, yeah, I like at the very end, because Picard's, he goes back to the past, he sees a possible future, and he's like existing in the present, and it like fucks him up. And at the end of the episode, he's like, oh man, I really got to like take the time to like do like I got to live life to the fullest, and he's like, you know what, I'm gonna join my crew and play some poker. Like,
it's like he never did.
Yeah.
And now he's there, and it's like
very good ending.
Man,
very good
so
ending.
Good, so good.
Yeah. My number one was also Darmok.
Oh, it was the only overlap any of us had. Dark. Yeah.
I love that episode.
That's a good one. It's a really good one. I really like that episode too.
Yeah, because again, it kind of plays on the whole initial mission. Is they're trying to communicate with this new life, and they're having a hard time, so they really have to figure it out on their own. And they make peace through it, and it's wonderful. It's very Star Trek episode.
Yep. All right. Well,
very good. Let's
lists.
endorse some shit. Good lists. Those are all good Star Trek. You cannot go wrong. Watch any one of those episodes. They're all good.
And especially
all good pick.
The Royale.
Don't watch the Royale. The Royale's
so
dumb.
Good.
It's so dumb. I mean, unless you like dumb shit, then watch the Royale.
Daddy needs a new pair of shoes.
That's the best line to this day. I watched every episode of TNG. It's without a doubt, definitively the best line in Star Trek.
I am gonna endorse watching Seth MacFarlane's The Orville. If you, like me, think that all of the current CBS Star Treks are bullshit, they are. Especially Star Trek Picard. I'm so worried. At time of recording, they recently released a trailer. They're like, "Oh, we're bringing back Q." Like, I don't trust the writers to do any kind of justice to that character. Anyway, if you're very disappointed with the CBS Star Trek reboots, you should watch Seth MacFarlane's The Orville. It is basically Star Trek in absolutely everything but name. It is very good. And I know I've endorsed The Orville previously, but I'm endorsing it again. But I'll give a bonus endorsement. Go watch Mortal Kombat, the latest Mortal Kombat movie. It is good. Don't go in expecting like an Oscar-worthy drama. Like there's a lot of shit in that movie that makes no fucking sense. Like if you really want to get like technical about it, you could tear that movie apart from criticism. Just turn your brain off and watch the ninjas punch each other in the dick. That's all you need to do to enjoy that movie. It is very good, very funny. The new Mortal Kombat, I guess we're calling it Mortal Kombat 2021. I don't know. It's good.
If you really think about the game doesn't really make much sense either.
Yeah,
so
just watch the ninjas punch each other. That's all you got to do. It's a great movie.
Watch the ninjas and monsters attack each other.
I was gonna say, and monsters,
Turn your brain off and have a good time. Mortal Kombat 2021.
The only criticism I heard about that movie is that it ends on like we're gonna make a continuing.
Oh, it is absolutely
like,
the whole movie is
Big
just setting itself up for a sequel, and I am totally on board. I want to see this sequel.
Oh yeah,
I want
as it
sequel.
should. I mean, there's no way you get enough Mortal Kombat in just one movie. Come on.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I'd be okay with it.
Yeah, it's very funny too.
My endorsement this week will be very simple. As a Netflix show, I think it is the most trending show at the moment. It is called Shadow and Bones, or Shadows and Bones. It's based off of a fantasy trilogy book series. It's a high fantasy. There's a lot of magic, and there's like this premise that there's like this this dark space dividing this map of continents. It's like, or a continent, and it's like just this dark space with like a wasteland that was created by some magic user at some point in history, and no one's ever been able to get rid of it with their magic. But when you go into it, there's all these monsters and shit that kill you, and so there's these two like countries on either side, and there's sort of at war, but you know, it's kind of hard. There's also people who are trying to get to and from and through the fold, and then this chick who ends up being, you know, the hero character that can change the world or whatever. So it's on Netflix. It's like a little series, eight episodes or whatever, but it's pretty enjoyable. We watched like one episode and we ended up like binging the rest like that same weekend. It was pretty good. Shadow and Bone.
Okay. I don't know if I endorsed this last time. But I'm going to endorse building a new PC.
Oh, do it, yeah. I can't remember. I think maybe you did. Who cares? Endorse it again.
Yeah, endorse
it again. Double
Oh,
endorsement.
Yeah, because so the whole reason why we played Bridge Crew.
It's actually a terrible time to build a new PC.
Yeah, I know it's horrible.
It's the worst. It's the
Oh my
worst time
God.
to build.
I
I
mean,
mean,
you
definitely
can
build a new PC, but it's so
do it.
hard to find parts. Anyway,
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, because the whole reason we played Bridge Crew was because I had the capability of playing actually high quality, smooth VR.
Yeah, I still cannot run it in VR. I actually ran it in VR on accident, and it's like everything was super choppy. It's like terrible.
Yeah, because I have a Oculus Quest 2. This is good. I'll endorse this too. Oculus
there you
Quest
go.
2.
The
It's
Quest.
nice.
I've
Yeah,
endorsed
Quest
that as
2's
well.
Yeah.
Well, the first one. Yeah.
Yeah. This works pretty well.
Yeah.
Especially hooking it up. It works perfectly fine.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I mean, it's so nice having a PC that actually works. I didn't show you, Leo. Let me show you.
Oh,
Oh,
Look at that.
oh,
Look
it's
at that.
beautiful.
Yeah, look at that 3090 right down there.
Oh my God!
I
So
know.
big.
It's huge.
Put it in me.
Oh,
Oh dear.
Leo has some weird kinks.
Yeah.
All right,
That'll be my recommendations.
all right, we did it. Ba, 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 ba.
Can that be
anything
the?
else?
Oh wait, I was gonna say, can that be like the theme music for this episode? But then we'll probably get like. shut
Yeah,
down.
we'll probably get DMCA.
You'd have to do like the MIDI version or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah,
Or
do
some
that.
do the
I'll
old
just
NES.
I'll just record myself singing it. Yeah,
Or just put in the Picard song, like
Captain
Jean-Luc
Jean-Luc Picard.
Picard. Sorry,
All right,
I'll endorse that too. Endorse the Picard song.
Go look at the Picard song or the Data song, right? What's it called? Is it called Picard and Data? What's the Pogo song?
I don't know the Pogo one, but the
Oh,
Picard
it's
song
so
is definitely
good.
the Picard song.
No. You need to go look. Google
Oh.
Pogo. I think it's Data.
Pogo
That's
Data.
another. Yeah.
Picard
Pogo
song.
Data. Yeah, very, very good. Okay. Our next episode is going to be coming out real soon because we took so long to record this one. Pokemon Snap. We're going to be playing the new Pokemon Snap. Wait. Is that where we're? Hey, quick business meeting, guys. Do you guys want to do Pokemon Snap next or Bravely Default next?
I'm ready for Bravely Default, but I'm probably more interested in Pokemon Snap since it's
All right,
newer,
let's do
and-
Pokemon Snap. Let's do it. Pokemon
I
Snap.
was going to ask that actually, but like I probably need some time to play it, so let's not do it like literally like in 2 days.
Well, is there anything we're ready for in 2 days?
Well, Bravely Default, yeah, I've played a good amount of that.
Our next
but-
episode is going to be Bravely Default 2.
Boom.
That's what I was saying.
All right,
Let us have more time on Pokemon.
I'll mix the calendar around and make this make sense. All right, our next episode is going to be Bravely Default 2. Hey, we might have a Pokemon Snap episode in the works too. Who knows? Yeah. Anything else, guys? I don't know. Was that it?
I think that's it. We did it.
Ba, 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 ba.
It's been a long road getting from there to here.
Jesus.
Maybe you should just have that because I don't think CBS really cares about that.
Yeah. All right.
Good shit.
All right.
Good shit.
For the Good Games podcast.
Oh, let's sign off, motherfuckers.
Jesus Christ.
It's been so long. It's been so long. I forgot how to sign off. For the Good Games podcast, my name is James.
I'm Leo.
I'm Justin.
Goodbye. Ba, 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 da, ba, ba, ba. It's been a long time. Get from there to here. All right.
All right.
Should we impulse out of here?
Impulse out.
Are we gonna push it out?
We're going to leave 327 people behind.
Yes!
Oh, 14%.
Let's fucking go! Get us out of here!
I'm doing it.
Oh, get it. Wait, I'll power the engines. Shit.
Shields.
Hold on.
Fucking the shit. Charging warp core. Something's down. It's not working. Cloak vessel
out of here,
detected. Engines locked for impulse.
Congratulations, Captain.
Oh, God.
You and your crew have just completed the Kobayashi Maru simulation.
There's fire
I
everywhere.
know it's
The Borg cube is coming back after us.
I'm clicking on the fucking thing and people aren't doing anything.
We're on station.
I don't know how I can reassign people to the
Folks,
work for.
we're fucked! Our hull is compromised. Oh my god! No, that's gonna be, I want us warp 9 to the fucking Benov system, Mr. Ryman. Warp 9!
Okay, give me a second, Benov.
I don't know that you need to go warp 9.
God damn it, are you questioning your captain? Are you questioning the captain?
This bitch.
No, sir.
Found it. Fucking found it. Yeah. Yep. High five?
Our scan is nearly
High five?
complete.
Huh? 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 You gonna leave me hanging? Oh, you're a bitch. You're a fucking bitch. You're fired. Oh.
Captain, a powerful
We're all
subspace
done here,
energy
Captain.
surge is approaching at
Scan
high speed.
Shields up. All right. Helm, take us back towards the station. We need to
receive our data. Transmitting now.
transmit that science data.
Alright. Okay.